Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I am located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients are all throughout the United States. They really are from coast to coast, and that's because immigration is a federal practice. So that means that no matter where you're located in the U.S., we can represent you. So if you'd like to work with us, we can do most things remotely. Again, as I mentioned, we're located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients are kind of all throughout the United States. And this is because immigration is a federal practice. So we can do most things remotely. Some of our clients prefer to come to us, especially if they're in the DC area, or many of our clients from New York even will try to drive down and see us in person. So we're happy to accommodate that if you're able to come down. But if you do want to work with us and you're kind of far away, we handle our meetings by Zoom, and it would be just like this. We'll send you a link. You just click on the link, and it's usually pretty easy. So if you'd like to work with us, go ahead and type and give us a call, and we can schedule a consultation. So if you call now, my assistant will answer the phone. His name is Brian. Say hi to him, and he can help you schedule a consultation. Okay. So this is an opportunity really to ask your questions, to ask your immigration questions. Of course, we have people watching on both Facebook and on TikTok, so it's not confidential or privileged, right? So what you should do, if you want specific information about your case, I would suggest scheduling a consultation so I can ask you questions about your immigration history, your immigration goals. So it's really an opportunity for me to ask you everything that I need to know to give you kind of a game plan for achieving your immigration goals, for answering your immigration questions. Okay. Great. So we have a number of people on here today asking a number of different questions. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go through and answer your questions right now. This is really a good opportunity for your one-off questions, and then I'll also go through and answer some questions that come up in our practice and some of the cases that we're working on, just in case it helps you with your immigration options and your benefits, and to kind of get a sense of different ways to maybe get a work permit or to get a green card, or even get employment-based sponsorship. I guess before I begin, I just want you to understand kind of what our firm does, our expertise, what we do. We only practice immigration law. We do not practice anything other than immigration. We practice only immigration law, but within immigration law, we represent families that are sponsoring others. We represent victims of abuse. We do humanitarian cases. We represent victims of crime, also more humanitarian cases. And we do business immigration as well. So that means companies sponsoring for visas and green cards. We also do individuals. We help with applications for individuals looking for visas based on extraordinary ability, or other types of qualifications that they're very specific, that they have a skill level that rises to a level that is higher than the average person in that field. So right now we're representing an actress who is going to come to America to act, and so she's going to get an artist type visa. All right, so there's a number of different options for different people, different occupations based on your experiences. So the best thing for you to do if you're not in status right now, or if you're looking to learn more about what options you have available to you specifically, give us a call, schedule a consultation. You can reach us right now. We're open right now at 703-348-1663. If you're on Facebook, you'll see our phone number running across the bottom there. It's 703-348-1663. And if you don't already like our page or follow our page on TikTok, feel free to do that. We are at Agarwal Immigration. I hop on as much as I can to just kind of answer your one-off immigration questions, and I'm happy to do that. Edwin says, please, can an A2 visa holder change status? Great. So Edwin, hi. It depends, right? The question is, it depends. So people who aren't familiar with A2 visas, these are visas that are given to people that work at embassies, for example, right? So they can be given in different situations. But they usually work at a foreign embassy based in the U.S. And they come in, and it's a work visa based on that. So there's many different things that go into place there. So yes, you can change status. It might make sense for you to leave and change status abroad, come in on that different visa abroad. You have to show that you've maintained status in the past. You can do, there's a process here where you can do it in DC. So if it's more complicated. So if you're an A2 visa holder, it is a more complicated change of status process. Let's say you want to apply for a green card, right? So there's a different forms that you have to fill out as an A2 visa holder. So again, this is for people that come to the U.S. and they work at an embassy. So if you have to change status, if you're going to apply later for a green card, let's say you married a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, there are some additional steps that you have to take in order to change your status to something else. Okay, so Edwin, I would say call our office, schedule a consultation. We can walk you through the process. We can walk you through trying to change status here in the U.S., what that means. Are you able to do that? We can walk you through maybe applying for a green card if that's where you are right now. Or we think it's best, we'll advise you to go abroad and get a visa stamp and come back in that way. So you do have some options to go from A2 to a different status, but it may depend. The process that you use may depend on your specific situation. Okay, Edwin, I hope that answers your question. Give us a call if you want to schedule a consultation and talk more about it. Again, our phone number is 703-348-1663. We're open right now. We're taking calls, so go ahead. If you want to schedule with us, I'd be happy to get you on our calendar. All right. Sunny Singh is here joining us. He says, hello, hi, how are you? Other people have other nice things to say that I won't read out loud. All right. So then, hi, Ramesh. Hi, Ronald. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Karan. Hi, Amish. Amish is asking, do you know how much time it is taking to cash an I485 EB check? I'm on my third week and anxious. I would say about a month. So, Amish, I would say I would say it's taking about a month. All right, so you'll probably hear soon. You'll probably see a deduction soon from your account, or you'll see that check cashed. Yes, so usually for anybody, for any application, so he's talking about an employment-based application, but for any application, when you send in a filing fee, you know that it takes USCIS some time to send you back a receipt notice. So usually when you apply for something, you get what's called a receipt notice in the mail. And that notice will assign a case number to your case, and you can follow it along and see what's going on with your case. But if you haven't received it yet, sometimes there's a delay. I know there's at the Texas Service Center, I think it's resolving itself, but at the Texas Service Center, they were taking a really, really long time, sometimes 6 weeks to send a receipt notice, maybe even longer in some instances. But right now, I think it's getting better. But before you even get this receipt notice in the mail, you can always check your account and see if the check has been cashed. The filing fee has been cashed, right? So it'll say, Department of Homeland Security on your account. So that way you can confirm that they received your application. And not only that, right? Not only that, they received your application and they are accepting it as being proper, right? So they have all the pages are there, the signatures are there where they need them. You had the correct filing fee. So when they cash your check, they're going to start reviewing your application. If there's something wrong with your application, they will send it back and not cash your check. Excuse me. So that's something, it's a good news. Is when they cash your check, it's actually really good news because that means it's going in for processing. It doesn't mean that it's going to be approved, but it means that it's past this basic level, and they're going to start reviewing it substantively. Okay. Hope that is helpful, Amish. Edwin says, He will give us a call. Yeah, great. Call us, schedule a consultation. We'd love to talk to you. And Edwin says, because I wish to marry an American citizen and get a green card, so wouldn't want to go back and reapply. Yes, so you can definitely, there is an option for you to go from A2 to marrying a U.S. citizen, right? So you have actually a little bit more leeway to do that. We do have to take additional steps. There are additional forms that are required. But if you are an A2 and you're marrying a U.S. citizen, that is possible. We have worked exactly in this case before. All right, call us. We can definitely help you schedule a consultation. The phone number is 703-348-1663. Let's see. Hi, Karen. Okay. Hi, Shaggy. Shaggy says, I've been waiting for my interview of an I-751 for 16 months. What should I do? They're actually taking a really long time. So you may, it'll get scheduled soon. You can always call USCIS and see where it is. And then the drastic measure, which I don't think after 16 months, I would not necessarily suggest it, but you can always, if your application is taking a really long time, what you can always do is sue the government if you want. That is a luxury, but that is an option. So all government agencies, including USCIS, are required to make a decision on your application in a reasonable time frame. That is by law. It says reasonable time frame in the actual regulation. So if they're taking years and years and years, longer than normal processing times, maybe even the normal processing time is unreasonable, right? We can argue potentially that even the normal processing time is unreasonable. So if you believe that, we can look at your application. We take certain steps kind of before we sue. We may, reach out to USCIS. We may reach out to our senator or congressperson to kind of document that we've taken additional steps, and then we go in for the lawsuit. Eventually, we try to even communicate with the government and threaten to sue even before we actually sue. So there are some steps we take beforehand, but that is an option. That is an option for some people that do want to get a decision on their application. So the thing that you have to remember is when you file suit like this, it's a decision. You're asking for a decision on your application. You're not asking for a favorable decision, just a decision on your application. Okay. So it might be beneficial if you have a strong application, you just want to get it over with, you want to get that status. Give us a call. We can certainly help walk you through this process. Our phone number, is 703-348-1663. Call us. And again, as I mentioned before, we represent clients all throughout the United States. So we can help you no matter where you're located. Even if you're outside the U.S., we only practice U.S. immigration law. We can help you if you'd like to come to the U.S. on a green card or any other kind of visa. All right. Hi, Miriam. Sunny says, what is the process for citizenship? Excuse me. Well, let's see. So it depends. So when you can apply for citizenship, this is naturalization. So you have to qualify to be able to apply for citizenship. So most people, the very, very first thing is you have to have a green card. All right. So most people either have to have a 3-year green card. Be a green card holder for at least 3 years or for 5 years. And which category you fall under really depends on how you got your green card. So most people that are married to U.S. citizens, they can apply for citizenship. So they can apply for citizenship after only having a green card for 3 years. But if you got a green card in any other way, so let's say your mom sponsored you, or let's say you have a work-based green card, or you got a green card after being on asylum, after receiving asylum. So any other way, usually this is just a general rule, you have to be a green card holder for 5 years before you apply. So there are certain other requirements that you also have to meet, like good moral character. So if you have a criminal charge, a criminal conviction, you definitely want to talk to an attorney before you move forward with your citizenship application, right? Because you may not get approved, and it may make sense for you to just not apply at all, because there are different triggers that can happen if you have a crime and you apply for citizenship, right? It might get you put into removal proceedings. That is not the case for most people. I would suggest absolutely, as soon as you're eligible, apply for citizenship, because that is the utmost protection for you. Your green card can always be taken away. You do not have as much freedom to be out of the country for long periods of time if you have a green card, right? If you get convicted of certain crimes, eventually, let's say you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, your green card can always be taken away from you. But your citizenship, unless you use fraud or some other means, some other illegal means to get your citizenship, it can almost never be taken away from you. Okay, so as soon as you're eligible, so it's 3 years for those people that are married to U.S. citizens, and 5 years for people that are that got their green card in some other way. So basically, you have to have a green card. You have to show good moral character. Your physical body even has to be in the U.S. for a certain period of time. Okay, and it depends on how you're applying for citizenship. You have to have physical presence in the U.S. for a certain period of time. You have to live in the area that you live in for at least 3 months. So there's a lot of different requirements. So if you're applying for citizenship and you're not sure if you're eligible, we handle these cases all the time. We'd be happy to do a consultation with you and let you know the process, let you know whether or not you're eligible, make you aware of any potential issues. So call us if you think we can help you with the citizenship process. We are again at 703-348-1663. So Roop Sandhu says, excuse me, Roop Sandhu says, what happens if we don't get a 10-year green card into chance of removing conditions green card and they deport you? So Roop, you should give us a call. We handle these cases kind of all the time. So, so essentially, let me kind of back up. So the way green cards, marriage-based green cards. So what Roop is talking about is a marriage-based green card. So when you first get a green card and you're married less than 2 years at the time you get that green card, you have to have your, you only get a 2-year green card. You can do whatever you want as a green card holder for 2 years. But at the end of that 2 years, you have to have what's called, you have to remove the conditions and basically show the government that you're still married. Okay, so you have to show the government that you're still married at the end of 2 years. So that's what he's talking about, removing the condition. So basically removing that 2-year limit on the green card and then going to a permanent 10-year green card. So that is what Roop is talking about right now. He's saying, what happens if we don't get the 10-year green card? So yeah, you can get deported. So if you get denied, they will put you in removal proceedings. You can present whatever relief options you have available to you. And if you don't qualify, you will get deported, right? But people to get those conditions removed, you usually go in with your spouse. You show the government that, you're still married, that your marriage was not just for immigration purposes. Some people have kids, some people don't have kids, but they have, joint finances. They bought a home together, things you do as a couple just normally. You live together, right? So what you need to do is show USCIS that your marriage was not just for immigration purposes. So this becomes problematic when you're having problems in your marriage and your spouse is not cooperating to help you get that 10-year green card, right? Maybe they're using it against you. Maybe they're holding it over your head. Maybe they're threatening to have you deported, right? So this happens actually more often than one would like to think. This happens if you have a 2-year green card and then you want to go and get that 10-year green card, and your spouse is not willing to help you. What do you do? So you have options, right? You have one, you could be divorced. So that's an option. So you may already be divorced and you can still go and apply for that 10-year green card on your own without your spouse. Option number 2 is you may be the victim of abuse. Your spouse might be abusing you. So if they're using this green card, this 10-year green card, if they're holding it over your head and not willing to cooperate or threatening to have you deported, you might not realize it, but that might qualify as abuse. So that and other things, of course, we would have to explore that a little bit more. But you may be eligible to go for this 10-year green card on your own without your spouse. So the important thing is that your marriage was not just for immigration purposes. If your marriage was for immigration purposes, you will not get that 10-year green card. So I wouldn't say, go try and apply this. But if you were in a real marriage where you were thinking about building a life together with this person and it didn't work out, you do have options. So if you're in this situation, I would say, give us a call. Give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. We can help you. We can help you apply for it on your own. All right. I hope that was helpful, Roop. Nick says, my sister is in India and his husband abandoned her in India with a baby boy. Is there anything we can do about it? So if your sister lived in the United States, with this husband, excuse me, we may be able to help your sister self-petition for her own green card and then come in based on being a victim of abuse. So that it might be possible. If you'd like to schedule a consultation with us, call our office. Again, we're at 703-348-1663. We may be able to help her apply for her own green card. However, she'll have had to have been in the U.S. At least at some point living with her husband. So if she never lived in the U.S., unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to help her. There may be other ways. Right? So if she is, for example, in India, and socially, I know it's not accepted, to be single and with a child. The woman is often blamed for causing a divorce, for not being able to get along with the husband, right? So maybe if she's afraid of being there, if she's afraid of being harmed in this situation, we might be able to seek asylum. Again, everybody's situation is different, but I'm just giving you kind of an example that might work in yours. So if you want to call us, we can certainly explore what options are available to your sister, Nick. If she was in the U.S., we could do a green card application. We could explore the option of asylum, but there may be ways to help her come to the U.S. as a refugee. All right, give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. Hi, Yathan. How are you? All right. I think, guys, that I am going to wrap up for this afternoon. It was nice to see you all. If we can help you with a consultation, give us a call. We are at 703-348-1663. Hi, Amanda. I'm going to hop off. Sorry to miss you. Nick, I hope that was helpful. Nick says thank you very much. I will see you guys soon, okay? Hope all is well. Hope you have a great afternoon, and I'll see you soon. Bye.